guess the biggest story this week, the one that everyone's talking about, amongst other things, is the ROLLIN 60s were they were arrested. A bunch of them were arrested on a RICO charge, and there are a few big names in that. Big U, Brick Baby, who you may know from No Jumper, and LUCE Cannon, who has also been on the internet for a couple of years now. And a bunch of other ROLLIN 60s, like I mentioned, were arrested by the feds for crimes including murder, extortion, firearms, prostitution, embezzlement, a whole slew of crimes. It's not looking good for them. Before we dive into this, man, and pick the story apart, Lonzo, talk to everyone out there about the feds and how when they come after you, they pretty much have all their ducks in a row.
They have endless money, endless time. They don't waste their time on trying to prove the case once they got you. They pretty much proved it already. It's just a matter of how much time we're going to give you. Okay. It was described one time, I think the feds grabbed somebody recently and they said, man, they could have saved this money and just went on and hired a public defender because you're probably not going to go anywhere. It's just a matter of how much time and where they're going to send you. And that's just how cold the game is when the feds come after you. And that's real talk, folks. It's not. Yeah. They have a great, unfortunately for some people, they have a great conviction rate, a great conviction rate because their work is already done before they put the handcuffs on you. They've taken their time, find out what had to find out, got everybody in line. Okay, we can go get them now because they're not going nowhere.
Yep. 97%, I do believe, is their conviction rate.
Yes, sir.
Pretty damn high. Very few have tried and won against the feds when they get arrested.
Very few. And you got to have a whole lot of money to fight them, folks.
Money.
You're going to spend it trying to stay out of the penitentiary.
Facts. And we're not talking about, money that you think, you're balling on the corner. You can buy some Jordans. You could buy, a little nice apartment. We ain't talking about that kind of money, dog. We are not talking about that kind of money. We're talking about money.
If you don't have presidential dollars to redirect the whole focus of the case, not only about we were talking about that the other day. Not only do you have to worry about being innocent or guilty, you have the power to redirect the focus of the case to the prosecuting attorney. Don't worry about me right now. Don't worry about my crimes. Why is she sleeping with so and so? Why is that? And that because that's how much money you got to have in order to get from under the case of the feds. Okay. Got to redirect the whole focus, and most of us don't have it like that, Doc.
Yep. I am seeing some weirdness in the chat. Someone post in the chat real quick, Marlon. Let me know what's going on because it says my chat is disconnected, but we'll figure that out. No worries. Yeah, so let's break this down more. What makes the story even more crazy, Lonzo, is a couple of people that were arrested. They are big YouTubers. They are big content creators, millions of views online. I mentioned Brick Baby and LUCE Cannon. Those are two of probably the most famous ones. But I've been watching their platform for a very long time now and listening to the things that they say. When this happened, when they got arrested, I was like, it was only a matter of time because some of the things they've said online, Lonzo, and it's all coming out in hindsight now with this case, but they were literally snitching on themselves, talking about having guns on them, illegal guns, and robbing people. Meek Mill's name was involved. PNB Rock's name was involved. We've talked about in the past, and we're going to get into that part of the story. But Lonzo, man, talk about how important it is to watch what you say online, bro.
I listened to I've listened to these guys talk for the last few months, maybe last year or so. Just the fact that you tell people you have to check in, or you bragging about people having to check in. There's a term for that called extortion. Okay. Major issue, major crime. Extortion is a major crime. Tell somebody you have to check in, and I've seen the video. You have to check in, or we might check your equipment in, check you in. Nah, and that you think I think that's a cool term to apply to it. But bottom line is, it's extortion. There's a criminal code for that. It was being done in various countries around the world by the mafia and other organizations. And for you to be a part of a street gang, and that checking in is a part of your income stream, and especially when you taxing rappers, and you know that people have been have pretty much been almost pretty much filed cases or was known they had issues when they came to check in or didn't check in properly. And then here's the next problem. Even if you check in with one side of the street, you still got the other side of the street. So, and it's only done to black rappers. And that's the part that's really disturbing. It's only done to us. We only make each other check in. It's not something that has universal. It's not a universal tax like income tax or anything like that. It's just a personal check. Oh, you came to our hood over here? Oh, we need some money. And in most cases, you can't give one person enough money to satisfy the hood. You know what I said? You can't give one person enough money to satisfy the hood. And that's where your problem starts. You think you're protected, but you may be protected by the blue team, or if you move locations, you got to check in again. And dude, that can get pretty expensive, especially when it's not a mandatory fee. There's probably not a line item on your budget when you first came to put together this video budget. You didn't have a check-in line item. Well, we got to have at least about 50,000. We can take care of this person, take care of that person. That's not how it go. You realize they were shooting a video and you thought you was cool because somebody told you was cool. And I see that a lot, especially in business. Oh man, we cool. I talked to so-and-so. Okay, cool. Go ahead. Get back at me after it's over with.
Facts, man. Just to let everybody know, my internet is down for whatever reason, so I may get to your chats a little bit later, so I apologize for that, but we're going to make it happen. I'm going to see if I can restart my router while we keep talking. But yeah, this is a situation, Lonzo, where you mentioned it before, and we've talked about checking in on a couple of videos, and I went back and listened to them just in preparation for this show, specifically when P&B Rock came to town. Now, this story is very important, Lonzo, because, well, first of all, we talked about P&B Rock a few years back. And for anyone who doesn't remember, because there have been so many rap unalivings as of late in the past 5 years, but P&B Rock was the one who was at a Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles in the hood, and about as bad a hood as it gets. Let's keep it real. And he had on all of his jewelry, and he was with this girl, and some dudes came in and they tried to take his jewelry from him. He didn't go down without a fight. Long story short, P&B Rock is right there in the Roscoe's in front of all the customers and everything. Now, that's important because LUCE Cannon, who was one of the people that was arrested, he did a video a couple of months back placing himself at that scene. He literally it was just one line in a random conversation he had. He said, I was there. Me and such was there, man. So that's one of the reasons that people are saying that he got arrested. But what is it, Lonzo? I mean, back in your day, back in even my day, back in the 90s, we were never gangsters or anything